Hey everyone, it's Nedra, and I cannot believe it's been a month since I have broadcast from the Naptime studio. As you know, I have a 6-month-old and I have a 2-year-old, and this was my first experience in August of the whole house getting sick. So I had heard this from other moms, but I had never experienced it myself. So as many of you know, I had to postpone a lot of our broadcasts because all of us except for my husband got sick with hand, foot, and mouth virus. And I think I just got sick with it. It's typically something kids get sick with, but I think I did because my immune system was down from traveling and just trying to be super mom all the time. So I'm really excited to be here with you guys, and both the boys are napping. Thatcher, the baby, has just gone down from 3 naps a day to 2 naps a day. So that means that his afternoon nap needs to be a little bit later so that he can make it through until bedtime, for any of you who are interested in that. So today we are going to back up and talk about the Oxygen Facial Spa. And I know this is taken off like wildfire in the beauty control director group and in the beauty control consultant group. And I wanted to I've gotten a lot of questions about how do I do mine. And so I wanted to explain and take this time. And then we will continue on in September and talk about the regular group spa. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Sheila. We will talk about the regular full relaxation group spa in September as well, because no one in this house is getting a virus in September. So before I tell you how I do my oxygen facial, I want to give a lot of thanks and credit to 2 women who made it possible for me to start doing this a year ago. So Pam Driesinga, who is a director in beauty control, you see her almost every single year on stage for top selling directors. She lives in Zeeland, Michigan, and she's a very good friend of mine. And last fall, when I was really struggling through my pregnancy with preeclampsia, and I still needed to work when I could, Pam was the one who really encouraged me to start posting in the local Facebook groups to book oxygen facials really quickly on the spot when I did have some time that I knew I was able to work a little bit. And Pam got her first before and after picture that she used, and also the idea from director Catherine Samuelson. And many of us know her from the awesome Who's Got Talent performance that she did at Celebration. So I want to give a shout out to those 2 ladies. Pam really asked Catherine a lot of questions, and Catherine's information and her before and after picture are what empowered Pam to start doing oxygen facials. And then Pam passed it on to me. And what's funny is Pam even taught about this at leadership last year. And I think everyone must have listened to all the other ideas she shared and not that one. So I'm thrilled that so many of you are starting to do it now, and it's taking off. And my Carolina girlfriend, Melissa Nobles, is an awesome, positive spokesperson for making up your mind. So thank you guys. So the way I do my oxygen facials, and this has been a process over a year of developing this way, is I did initially book them as one-to-ones, and then I would say, bring a couple people. And some of mine still end up being that, one person who either comes by herself or brings a couple of people. Because I only have 2 time slots a week to see people face-to-face, to see new clients face-to-face, I decided after doing that for a while that I wanted to create my own group spa with the oxygen facial those 2 nights a week, so that if one person responded to my Facebook ad and I saved time for her and then she didn't show or she rescheduled at the last minute, I still had other people coming for that time spot. And I very, very rarely do not see people on my 2 time slots a week that I have. Hey, Laura McLean. I can't believe you're watching. Okay, so I post my oxygen facial post on the local community groups, and then as people are responding, I will take up to 4 people per time slot that I've advertised, and they can be 4 different people that don't know each other, and I create my own group spa that way. This past Tuesday, or this past Monday, I posted on my local groups for Tuesday. So on Monday, I posted for Tuesday, and I had 4 different people respond and say they wanted to come see me for this oxygen facial on Tuesday. And And the first 2 people who initially reserved spots did not show, or they either rescheduled or they didn't show. If I had saved Tuesday for one of those first 2 people, I would have been out of luck and I would have not seen anybody on Tuesday. So I'm so glad that I scheduled 2 more people that didn't know each other in filling my 4 spots. And those last 2 people did show up on Tuesday, and they each purchased $260, and they booked a spa. Or one of them booked a group spa that's going to happen in a couple of weeks. So that's how I use the oxygen facials. So a lot of people have asked details about how do you do the oxygen facials. Thanks, Jan. And so I've made some notes. I made some notes while I was feeding Thatcher his bottle earlier this morning about how I do them. So people show up to my door. I don't have a separate entrance for my office, so they come to my front door, and usually I'm watching for them, and I stand outside and greet them, and I say, hey, I'm Nedra, you must be Jennifer or whoever. And before I walk in the door, I say, I have my family upstairs, but my home office is downstairs. And so we're going to walk in and just go straight down the stairs. And so that way, when they walk in, if they hear my sons and things, they know I've got 2 babies upstairs, and they know we're going to go downstairs. And so I follow them. And as soon as we walk into my home office, they set their purses down, and I just take that moment to introduce myself a little bit. Because think about it, these are people you don't know who have shown up to your home, and they don't know what to expect. So I like to just put them at ease immediately. And I say, my name is Nedra. As you know, this is my home office. I've been in business for 14 years. And I have 2 babies upstairs, like I said, so you might hear them with my husband. And I'm really excited to pamper you with the oxygen facial tonight. And I tell them, I'm from Michigan. I moved to the area a few years ago, and I ran this ad on Facebook because I am a work-at-home mom and not able to get out as much as I used to. Facebook has been a great way to meet new people like you and have you come check out what I do. So thanks for coming by. So something like that, and they immediately love it. Now, if you have not been in business if you've only been in business for a week or 2 weeks or a month or a year or whatever it is, that it's not the point of saying I've been in business for 14 years and that makes me credible. It's really just introducing yourself as a store owner. We are beauty control franchises. We are beauty control store owners. And if you have that attitude when someone comes to you for this, or you go to them for this, then it makes all the difference. The point of me introducing myself is to put them at ease and to let them know that this is my business, whether you've been in business for a week or 10 years, and you don't even have to say how long you've been in business. So I think it's just introducing myself as a store owner gives me confidence, and it makes them feel like, oh yeah, I am coming to something that is professional and that is of value, not just showing up to somebody's house. So I immediately after that take them to the bathroom that I have in my that's close to my office, and I say to them, we are going to treat your faces tonight, but I have something that feels really great for your hands, and I would love to treat you to that. So you can set your purses down over here and come on over to the sink. And so I don't have like a salon looking type sink. It's just a nice bathroom with a regular sink. And I tell them just crowd up around the sink, and I give them the hand scrub. And then the extreme repair, and then I give them Nutri-Rich oil for their fingertips as cuticle cream. The reason I give them Nutri-Rich oil is because it's a Dream Start gift, and so I am looking to add to my team with every person I see, and I want to get them hooked on things that they are going to be able to earn as a new consultant, even if I don't know if they're going to join yet or not. As we're doing their hands, I'm doing what you always do at a spa when they're scrubbing their hands. I'm asking, what did you do today? Are you a stay-at-home mom? Do you work? Where did you drive from? And just getting to know them just like we have always learned to do at our spas. And then at some point, either at the sink or as we go back out into the little love seat area that I have in my office, I'm asking them, what was your interest? Why did you respond to my ad? Like, what was your interest in an oxygen facial? And I'm just listening. Oh, thank you, Laura. And you are too. So as they're telling me what their interest is in having the oxygen facial, I'm also asking them, what's your routine? Like, what do you do every day for your face? And some people say soap and water. And I ask them, what kind of soap? Neutrogena, bar soap, oil of Olay, whatever it is. I ask them, what was your interest in the facial and what do you currently do for your face? And then as they're sitting down, they're touching their hands, they're talking about how great it is, I start to explain to them the products that we're going to use. So I've listened to what their skin issues are, and now I know what I can really focus on and talk about throughout their facials. And I say to them, the line of products that we're going to use today or tonight is from a company called Beauty Control. And I have used this product line the entire time that I've been in business. And the reason why is because I love the results it's given me on my own skin, and I love the quality of the products. So I know you're gonna love it tonight. I'm really excited for you to try them. Beauty Control is very much botanically based, so lots of organic, natural ingredients, but it's also really great at anti-aging. So wrinkles, brown spots, uneven skin tone, all of that, you're gonna see an immediate difference with what we do tonight. So that is just something that I've memorized. If you're watching this and you watch back and you take notes and those are words you want to remember, just jot them down somewhere and keep them with you. And the reason I'm able to say them right now without any notes is because at some point I memorized them, or not memorized them exactly, but just came up with my own thing that I want to say and just said it in my head over and over again until it became comfortable for me. So the first... Oh, one other thing I say before I start putting products on their face. I knew there was one thing and I couldn't remember it. After I've introduced Beauty Control, the products we're going to use, I say to them, tonight is going to be a mix of things that I do for you and things that you do for yourself. So that's a really key phrase that I say every time, and it helps them know what to expect, and it helps me feel comfortable with what I'm doing. Because when you're advertising a facial, I know I go and get facials and I'm laying on a bed, there's a machine, I have an esthetician, so I want to explain to them what to expect so that they're not wondering where the machine and the bed is, and then we both feel more comfortable about it. So I say again, tonight is going to be a mix of things I do for you and things you do for yourself. And I'm nodding my head and smiling as I'm saying it, and they totally love it as long as you explain ahead of time. So the very first product I put on their face is Tight, Firm, and Fill. And again, this is just like at my group spas. I know it's out of order, but it works, and I sell a lot of Tight, Firm, and Fill because of this. In fact, someone else was asking me about how I do these, and I was explaining again that I do Tight, Firm, and Fill first. And I remembered in that moment that the year that I started putting Tight, Firm, and Fill on half of all my clients' face, whether I saw them at a spa or a one-to-one, and then showed them in a few minutes what it was doing, the year I started doing that, I had my highest personal sales ever, and I was the #1 senior executive. And the reason why, a big reason why, was because of high personal sales. So getting that Tight, Firm, and Fill on them fast and only on half their face so that they can see it and see how it's working, it will help you have the highest personal sales you've ever had. So I say to them, I'm going to give you this special cream, and I need you just to put it on the right side of your face. And I put it on my spatula, put it on their fingertip, and I tell them just to, pat and press it in on the right side everywhere except your eye. They will ask, what is it? And I'll say, this stuff is so good, I'm going to keep it a surprise for a few minutes. So just keep putting it in. I promise we're going to treat your whole face, and I'll explain what this is in just a few minutes. Then I give them the Tight, Firm, and Fill for the eyes, have them pat it around their right eye. I tell them it's safe to put on their upper lid, and they do that. So that is working. Then I give them lip appeal mask for their lips. And I even, if it's only a couple people, I even take my Beauty Control spatula and I apply the mask to their lips for them. If it's only 2 people, I do as much as possible for them because I have the time and because I want them to feel like they're getting the facial experience as much as possible. So I ask them, if you'll just part your lips a little bit, I'm gonna pat this paraffin mask in. If there's more than 2 people, then I give it to them on their fingertip and they put it on. Then I tell them they can relax and sink their heads back and close their eyes, and they can put, and then I put the cucumber eye pads on them. Sheila, regular tight, firm, and fill. And sometimes I do extreme if that's what I have, but I pretty much stick with regular. So they have lip appeal on. I've placed cucumber eye pads on their eyes. Then I do the steaming washcloth. Oh my gosh, Chuck is on. Chuck, you're awesome. Thank you for showing me how to do this. Chuck is the reason that I'm doing this. He's amazing. Thank you. So they take the washcloths, they lay them over their face, or I lay them over their face for them, and I just let them relax for a couple of minutes. I don't say anything. I don't do any special verbiage. I just, I have my spa music playing and they relax. And then after it's been about a minute or so, and maybe I've arranged a couple things on my table, then I say to them, those washcloths get cool quickly. Whenever you're ready, you can take those washcloths off, but there's no rush. And then I just wait. And within a few seconds, they take them off. Now, if it's only 2 people, I take the washcloth and gently take it off their face for them and take the eye pads off for them. If it's more than 4 people, I have them, or more than 2 people, I have them do it for themselves. And at that point, I really start to treat their whole face. The reason I do the eye pads and washcloth and a little bit of relaxation is, again, to let that tight, firm, and fill on the right side get working. So at that point, the tight, firm, and fill is already in the middle layers of the skin and working, and I start to do cleanser for the whole face. And how I do cleanser is I have these little inexpensive plates from the dollar store. These are the little appetizer size ones, and I have a Sharpie marker. And for each person that's here, I take my Sharpie and I write their initial on the plate. And this is only at Oxygen Facials. This is not at my group spa, my regular group spas. But I write their initial there. And then I have a mask brush from Beauty Control. I don't think we sell these anymore, but you could probably get something like it somewhere. Someone posted as a comment here if you know where to get something like this. And I put the purifying cleansing lotion on the plate, a little bit for each person. And I have their initial in here so I know whose plate to go back to as I'm doing things. So I use the brush to apply the cleanser over their whole face, and I do each person. And then I take a second warm washcloth and lay it over their face again for about 30 seconds, not very long. I take the washcloth off. If it's only 2 people, I wipe the cleanser off myself. I just do it very gently. If it's more than 2 people, then I ask them to go ahead and take the washcloth and wipe the cleanser off and wipe the mask off their lips. Once the mask is off their lips, I give them lip balm really quickly, just like we do at spas, because once you scrub those lips, they feel like they need that lip balm. And then let me take a look at my notes and see where we're at. Okay, at this point, thank you, Peggy. Yes, probably at Sally's for sure to get those mask brushes. At this point, after they've had cleanser over their whole face, I say to them, oh, let's stop for a second and take a look. And this is where I have them start looking at their face to see if tight, firm, and fill is working. And I can see it. I can see it smoother and lighter underneath. Thank you, Laura. Walmart, even better. I can see their one eye looks lighter and smoother, and I can see that their cheek is lifted. I promise every single time the tight, firm, and fill has worked, even though we just did cleanser on their whole face. And so I'm seeing it, and I say to them, take a look at each other and be each other's mirrors and tell me if you can see a difference under the eye and in the cheek on that one side. And I just pause and I just let them look. And it is so fun and so rewarding to see that they notice too. Every now and then, if they don't notice or they're just being really quiet about it, thanks, Chuck, I start pointing it out to them. Can you see under the eye how it's lighter and smoother? Can you see how the cheek looks lifted and the apple looks more defined? And then they can see it, but that rarely happens. Usually they see it. And then after they're noticing it on each other, I give them a mirror to take a look for themselves and see how they look themselves. And then at that point, we start to do the oxygen tool. And so I have my oxygen tool plugged in next to them. I have a big extension cord so I can move it around if I need to and get to more people. And I give them a dry cloth, and I ask them to take that dry cloth and just pat their face a little bit more for me, just in case there's any extra moisture. I tell them the moisture is not going to, it's not going to hurt the oxygen tool, but because the oxygen tool does apply a light electrical, little electric current, it will stick a little bit if there's some moisture on your skin. So just take that extra dry cloth and pat your towel. So each guest has 2 warm cloths and 1 dry cloth. So that's the supplies I prepare for them. So they're patting their face, and then I tell them we're going to do the oxygen tool and a microderm treatment on the same side we've done tight, firm, and fill on. Then we'll take the picture from my portfolio, and then we'll finish the other half of your face. So I apply the oxygen tool, gently just going over that one side of their face, and I can see the brighter skin starting to pop up. I can see it starting to look lifted, and as I'm seeing it, I'm saying it to the other people here. Can you see what's happening to her skin? And just having them pay attention and getting positive feedback as you're doing it. As soon as I'm done with that one side with the oxygen tool, I then apply microderm cream with the same mask brush that I've been using for that person, with the microderm cream squirted out on the plate that has her initial on it. And I'm applying the microderm cream on the one half with my little brush. And then, so I do, let's say there's just 2 people. I do oxygen on right side on the second person. Then I do microderm. And as the microderm's sitting on both of them, I explain about the microderm. And Lisa Herman or Lisa Davis, she did an awesome game day glam lesson. I think it was number 2 about microderm with some great verbiage on microderm. And her verbiage is the exact same verbiage that I use about the quartz crystals and removing the layers of dead skin and the body responding by producing new skin really fast. So watch that. It's really, really good. And I like having that time for that glycolic acid to work, because then I can be explaining these things to them and talking about how microderm is going to address the skin issues that they most likely told me about at the beginning of the facial. So after I've scrubbed in microderm on the first person, I say to her, you know what, Melanie was the last person I did this on. Melanie, the best way to get those tiny little crystals off is with lots of water. So if you don't mind, if you could just go back to my sink where we scrubbed your hands and just splash your face with a ton of water and take that dry cloth we just used, and you can dry off with that. And then she doesn't mind at all. I used to feel so bad that I didn't have like the sink right next to them and I wasn't set up like an esthetician. But if you just explain, it needs lots of water, go splash your face, they don't care. They love it. And they're in the bathroom going, oh my gosh, I can't believe my skin. It feels so much better. As the first person's in the bathroom washing or splashing her face, you're on to the second person scrubbing her face in. And then she goes in and rinses it off, and you're on to the third person if you have a third person there, and you're scrubbing the microderm in for her. And you just keep working your circle like that. So then they're coming back as you have time, and as they're coming back from the sink after rinsing their face, then I'm having them look at their face. Again, how does it feel? I'm just asking them for feedback throughout the entire thing. Look at the mirror again. Can you see an even bigger difference? And then I'm taking their photos as the first person comes back from rinsing her face, and she's had cleanser, tight, firm, and fill, oxygen tool, microderm, all that on that one side. Then I'm taking her photo. I only take one photo. I don't do a total before and a total after just because of time. I want them to see a difference between the two sides, and I show them the photo as they're sitting there and other people are rinsing. And I say, look, on that side of the picture, that's the side we treated. Can you see the difference? And I know that helps me have higher sales and more bookings and recruits at the end. So that's kind of a process where people are hopping up, rinsing their face, coming back, I'm taking their photos, and we're looking at the difference. And then I quickly do the other side of the face. Oxygen tool, microderm, and then tight, firm, and fill in the correct order on that left side. And then I finish up with everyone with a moisturizer over their whole face. And I give them the moisturizer to put on their face. I don't rub it in with my fingers. I just don't want to take the time to use gloves, which if you're not a licensed esthetician, it depends on the state that you're in, but in a lot of states you would have to have something between your skin and theirs, and I just don't want to have to worry about that. Again, I'm seeing as big of a group as I possibly can, so I give them the moisturizer to work in, and I've already told them that they are going to do some things for themselves, and I'm going to do some things for them, so they're not surprised that I'm giving them moisturizer to put on their own skin. What kind of moisturizer do I use? I use typically, Sheila, she was reading my mind. I typically use the BC Facial Normal to Dry Day Lotion. That's the one I typically use, and because it works for the most people. On Tuesday night, I had 2 ladies who both told me they were oily ahead of time, and I happened to have a BC Facial Combination Oily Day Lotion, and so I grabbed that really quickly and used it. But pretty much for one-time use, the day lotion from Normal to Dry is gonna work and feel great on everyone. If you don't have a different kind of day lotion and you only have the one that you got in your kit, use it. It is still gonna feel good because it is a quality product. And you can explain to your guests, when I haven't had other moisturizers on hand, I explain to them, I know you told me your skin is oily. This is a moisturizer that's better for normal skin. Tonight, it's still gonna feel wonderful. And if you'd like to treat yourself to your own skincare tonight, we'll make sure and order you the skincare that's perfect for your skin. So you can explain anything with a smile and a nod. Thank you, Bobby Hood. Awesome lesson for me 10 years ago. So they've got moisturizer on their whole face. At this point, I look at them and I say, how do you feel? You guys are glowing, and they are. And I'm asking them, did you enjoy it? And yes, they did. And then I quickly say, tonight is completely complimentary, like I said on my Facebook ad. There are specials tonight on what we used. Would you like to see those specials? And that's how I say it. And every single time they say yes, they would like to see the specials. So I just say it out in the open. Yes, tonight is complimentary. I said that in my Facebook ad. There are specials tonight. Would you like to see those specials? And the truth is, Beauty Control is running specials, different specials at different times of the month all the time. So there really are different specials happening. And I don't say, oh, well, the special technically ends on the 9th. I just say there are specials tonight, because on the spot sales and bookings and recruits is how you will explode your business. Yes, follow-up can bring business too, but on the spot is what I have time for, and you get more business when it happens on the spot versus following up later. So, I gotta readjust, there we go. So I hand them my close sheet. Can you see it? There you go. So this says what we use today or what we use tonight. It looks very much like my group spa close sheet in the Beauty Control Director group, Consultant group, and in this group that we're broadcasting from. Look in the files, and there is a close sheet that says Close Sheet Oxygen, and that is the one I specifically use for these appointments. It's just slightly different than the one for the group spa. On this sheet, just like the one for the group spa, is the BC Facial. And I tell them, you notice that there are the names of the sets here, not page numbers. When I'm in a group, I just give page numbers and I give them the beauty book, and they use the beauty book as like something to write on, and they're looking at the page numbers at the sets. For some reason on the Oxygen Facial, I like to keep it even simpler and shorter, because I've told them this will be a short appointment. And so I just tell them the name of the set and I don't give them a beauty book. So they're just looking at this. I tell them that the foundation of this entire experience tonight is the BC Facial set. And the BC Facial set is the blue bottles that you see on my table that we use tonight. So cleanser, toner, exfoliating polish. This is the 6-piece BC Facial set that I'm telling them about. It's for morning and nighttime, and it lasts me in my own bathroom at least 4 to 6 months. I know Gary Jones wants us to use more of it and make it last even less time, but for me it's 4 to 6 months, and it's really concentrated. I know what I say. I say this at group spas and at the Oxygen Facial. When I'm talking about the BC Facial, I tell them the reason I'm starting with this and I'm not talking about the other really wow things we used, is because if you love the way your skin feels tonight, and I'm touching my face, and so then they touch their face, if you love the way your skin feels tonight, then, and you don't have something at home that makes it feel this way, then I really recommend that you start with the BC facial first. And when I started saying that line, I started selling a lot more daily skincare, which is where a huge part of my reorder business is from. And I tell them this set is normally like, I don't know, around $190 or something like that, but the price that you want to write down is $159. And so I let them write it down. And then I say there's another number that you want to write down, and that's $27. So just somewhere near the BC facial on that sheet, write down $27. And they write it down, and I say this number is important because I'm not sure if my math is exactly right, but I know it's close, that this set lasts 4 to 6 months in my bathroom, and that comes out to about $27 a month. That is a really good price for 6 full-size pieces of skincare that have anti-aging ingredients built into every single step. Even when you wash your face with the BC facial, you are doing anti-aging things to it, not having to apply a separate anti-aging cream if you just happen to not have the time. The second set that we use tonight, and it's the second thing down on my close sheet, is the microderm. And so I make the microderm my own set in this instance. And I tell them normally it's $99. The first time you get microderm, you get that great 360 spin brush. Thank you, Vicki Bishop, for that great verbiage. You get that great 360 spin brush the first time you get it, and it's normally $99, but when you get it tonight, the special is $89. Now, sometimes, like last month, the price was even cheaper, and so I sold a lot of microderm last month because I gave them the price that was in the sale brochure. If microderm isn't on sale, I still sell it for $89 as a perk for getting it that night as my own special. The third set, I call it Spanx for the face. That's Tight, Firm, and Fill. And that's the original Tight, Firm, and Fill for the face. And I, again, explained to them this is what we did on one half, and then we did on the other half. And the key words that I use to explain Tight, Firm, and Fill is I say to them, what I love about this is that Beauty Control has designed something to take the water that's naturally in your skin and redirect that water up and make it expand into your lines. So instead of injecting Botox, you can use this and use what's already naturally in your skin to plump it up and get those instant results. I think that's verbiage I got from, guess who? Gary Jones. and it works, and people love it. And then the last set that I give on my close sheet at these is, of course, the oxygen tool. And the oxygen tool by itself is considered a set for me because of the price point. And the one thing I say about the oxygen tool is that at this point, I say to them, Beauty Control has an awesome product guarantee policy. So this tool, you're never going to run out of it. You're always going to have it. You won't need to call me for a refill. And if anything ever happens to it, you can call me and you will get a replacement at no cost. I think when people are purchasing something that's almost $200, I like to point out our product policy, our guarantee policy. And then, of course, at the end of that close sheet, as you're looking at it, you'll see that I have my own special that when they get one set, they can get an individual item at my cost. And I tell them my cost is 50% off. I purposely left that special as saying my cost because I know we all have different discounts. So whatever your discount is, you can share that with them if you choose when they get one set. Now, I do not let them get the oxygen tool at my cost just for buying one set. And I tell them the reason why is because of the price point, that is considered a set and not an individual item. You can tell them it's the tool and the bag there. That's two things, and that makes it a set. But when I say individual item, I tell them it might be if we did added any makeup on that night, or the hand scrub, or the hand cream, or the Nutri-Rich oil, or one piece from the BC facial, but an individual item at my cost. If they get two sets, they can get unlimited amount of items at my cost. And that, if people are buying two sets, that's what, like a $300 sale probably, or $250 sale. And so I would be glad to give them everything else they want at my cost because I've already made a good chunk of money on the two sets that they just purchased. And some people ask me, you want to be prepared for this. Some people ask me, how much does all of it cost? So before the facial, you're welcome, Sheila. Before the facial, the first facial of the month or the first appointment of the month, I look at the sale brochure and I see how much does everything on this sheet total up to based on the retail prices of the month, and how much is it going to cost me. And then I decide I might take, like, I don't know, 49 retail or 40 retail off the price if they get the whole thing. So let's say, I don't know, let's say it's 500 retail to get everything on the sheet. And I'll tell them that if you want to get everything tonight, it's $459 retail. So I'm giving away $20, but it's worth it for them to spend almost $500. You would spend more than that on hostess gifts. So be prepared, look at the prices of the month, and figure out how much of a deal you would like to give. But people will ask, how much is it for all of it? Because they love it. And I've had many appointments where just one person showed and I still sold $400 to $500. Isn't that awesome? Yeah. On the back of my close sheet is the consultant membership special. So this is the one for September. And it talks about the $59 case and BDU on the back, just like I've talked about in other videos. And last thing that I do to get on the spot bookings. So I use my close sheet to get on the spot sales and on the spot recruits, emphasizing that these are the specials for tonight. I just say that over and over again. And Pam taught me that. Thank you, Pam. After I did a couple of these, people weren't buying on the spot. And so she said, just keep saying these are the specials of the night over and over again. So after I've gone through the close sheet, I say to them, I do take cash, check, and credit card, plus I have some gifts tonight. And I took Laura McLean's gift game idea, and I have my box that I rewrap. I know I still rewrap the box. I haven't found a box that I don't have to rewrap. But I have my box all wrapped up with a big bow, and I have some sort of gift in there. And it's been sitting out on my table the whole appointment. And I say to them, I have some special gifts tonight. When you treat yourself to the first person who's here tonight, who treats themselves to something, the first person, or decides you'd like to have one of my full relaxation spas on one of the dates that I have open, you get to open this big gift. So the first person who treats themselves to something tonight or decides that you'd like to schedule a full relaxation spa on one of the dates that I have open, you get to open the big gift. And then everyone after you who gets something tonight, who schedules your own group spa, you also get a gift from my gift bowl. And I have a bowl of gifts that are wrapped up with a little bow on them. And I think right now I have some mascaras I got for free. I have some travel size hand creams. It's just whatever you have on hand or whatever you want to pick up that's on sale somewhere. And I wrap them with little bows. So offering the big gift for the first person who does something creates excitement and has everyone deciding that they want to get something. If you don't offer something like that, a lot of times what will happen is one person will say, well, I can't get anything tonight, and then everyone else starts saying it. Have you ever had that dynamic? So start out with creating excitement to get the big gift for the first person who acts, and then everyone else will get excited about getting something because they're also acting too, and they just saw the first person do it. So give them a reason to act that night. So that is it. I hear Rowan, my oldest, waking up. Thank you so much, and I will answer any questions you have in the comments here. Have a great weekend, everyone. Oh, how do I stop it?